Hey, today we're going to check out some of our favorite off-road gadgets, and I am waiting on Brooke, and she is taking her own sweet time. So since it seems like she's not going to get here anytime soon, I thought I'd get a little wheeling in. Babe, I'm sorry. I got impatient and I was going to go four-wheeling without you, but I put it in four low and it just wasn't right. You not being there. It wasn't complete. I needed my spotter. You complete me.
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at four low. You had me at four low.
Today we're talking about some of our favorite off-road gadgets, the ones that we're running in our vehicles right now.
To be clear, these are not essential off-road items. You don't have to have these to go four-wheeling, but we've found over the years that they do make things a lot nicer.
And just so you guys know, we're not being paid to talk about any of these or any of these brands. These are just the things that we own that we're using. And we will have everything linked down below for you guys in the description box.
I believe that every good off-roading trip should start by airing down the tires. So naturally our first product is going to be this nifty little item from ARB. ARB has been in the off-road industry forever and they make great quality products, and this is no exception. And this is their quick deflator tool, and it is just that. It is quick. I can air down my 35s on the Lexus, all four of them in about 5 minutes.
That's pretty good. How much does it cost?
$40.
$40?
Yeah, $40. It's a great.
Okay, but I found this one from X-Bull that looks identical to that, and it was $11.
Wow. Yours actually has an extra little button on the side of it that I don't have.
It does.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I was actually really excited about your $11 knockoff until I tried it. And it does work, but it's really jerky and doesn't move smoothly compared to the ARB. And it actually fell apart once while I was using it. But
Well, that's not good.
it did do the trick, but even at a quarter of the price, it's at least 4 times the hassle. I still say go with the ARB, because if you're on the trail and you want to go wheeling, you don't want to have a problem in that first part. Just get this and go for it.
Okay, that makes sense. I agree.
This next tool is the Swiss Army knife of off-road accessories, the high lift jack. These have been around forever. Everyone used them on the farm years and years ago, and this one is actually a John Deere one that I've had for over 20 years. But High Lift makes them, and they can be used as a jack, as a winch, as a spreader, you name it. They have so many different uses and different attachments for them that they can do virtually anything, and they're really handy to have. They can be a bit dangerous, so you have to know what you're doing, but they are a super handy tool. All right, the next one we're going to talk about are traction mats. Now these are another one of those items that have a lot of uses. These are really great in soft terrain. If you're in sand or snow or mud, you can use these for flotation to help get your vehicle out. They've got these cleats on them for your tires to grab traction against. They work really well. They can even be used to bridge a gap if you've got a big rut or you need to, you're on a trail and
So instead of stacking rocks, you can stack these.
Yeah, they're much lighter. They don't grip the ground quite like a rock, but it's better than lugging a 100-pound rock around. I've actually used them for that, and it's worked really well. You can see where I spun the tires on them. The cleats have held up well. You can actually even use these as a shovel. If you're in sand, you can turn them around backward and dig out as a shovel. They're really handy. They have a lot of different uses.
So how much are these guys?
These are about $100. Now, the granddaddy of all the traction boards is MaxTrax. They've been around forever. They originated the product. They have an excellent product, but they're about $300 for a pair. They're really good quality, but this is one of those that's less expensive.
So what's this brand?
This is the X-Bull.
Okay, this same exact brand of the tire deflator that you don't like.
Yes. The tire deflator that was less money I did not like, but this product that's less money, I'm actually really happy with. I think it's done a great job.
Okay, now I think that these are all nice and dandy, but we don't use them that much.
Well, because we're excellent off-road drivers. We only
But-
use them when you're stuck.
But my thought is, if we're giving our absolute favorite top products that we carry in our vehicles all the time, and yeah, this does, but it's not more favorited than the cooler.
For the frosty beverage, that is hard to deny that. Yeah.
I think the cooler should make our list.
It
And he nixed it. He said this was more important. I think the cooler's more important.
Because this is life or death. That can be life or death. So it's hard to argue that. We use this every trip out. This only gets used on occasion.
Yeah.
But it's a lifesaver when you need it.
Okay, one of my favorite items that we have right now is this tow rope in a bag. This one we bought from Rugged Ridge. And the reason why I like it is that it's not just a regular tow rope, it's a kinetic rope, which means that it stretches like a rubber band. So you can actually, when you're pulling someone out, you can actually get a run at it, and shouldn't hurt anything. That's not something you would want to do with just a regular rope, a chain, or a strap. The other thing that's really cool about it is that you can hook this up, if you're in a mud hole, you can hook this up to your vehicle, and then what you do is you take this whole bag and you throw it to your rescuer, you throw it to the shore, and then no one has to actually trudge through the mud, which makes things really nice.
Yeah, that is really cool. What if somebody already has a rope and just wants a bag?
Okay, so this whole thing is about $100, but if you already have a rope and you just want a bag, the bag's about $15.
I've been wheeling for over 20 years before I finally bought a winch. And when I did, it was a game changer for me. It allowed me to take tougher trails and tougher obstacles than I'd ever done before. And you've got that security factor to where if you're in a bind, you can get yourself out of it. Now, I know I'm going to catch some grief for the winch I went with. I went with an inexpensive one. I went with the Badlands winch. I decided to try that first because I really didn't know if I was going to like having a winch. And I figured with this one, if it ever failed me, I'd upgrade it then and go for a better one. But here we are, 5 years later, it has yet to fail me, and it's even been completely underwater a few times. Still works great. So whether you go with an expensive winch or an inexpensive winch, do your research and figure out which one works better for you, but I definitely recommend having a winch on your truck.
Okay, so we've talked about gadgets from airing down our tires to recovery gadgets and even gadgets to keep your beverages cool. But one of the things that we like to do before we leave the trail is to air back up. We like to air up before we leave, so one is we can run errands after we go four-wheeling, or it's just kind of a pain to remember to do it. So we air up before we ever leave the trail.
Yeah, it's not safe to run trail pressures on the road,
Exactly.
so you need to air back up.
Yes. So why don't you give them some specs on this one?
All right, we have the Smittybilt 2781 air compressor. It's fast, it's durable, it'll air up our 35-inch tires from about 15 psi to around 35 or 40 psi in 2 to 3 minutes a tire. It can run for 40 minutes continuously, so you can not only air up your tires, but you can air up your friends' tires as well.
And it's not one of those cheapies that you plug into your power port. This one actually connects to your battery,
Yeah,
which is definitely a plus.
It is definitely a plus. And it doesn't break the bank. It's about $169. And we've had this one for 2 years, and we even use it in our business on service calls. So not only does it see trail time, but it sees work time, and it's never given us any problems.
So that's all of the gadgets that we're using right now. We would love to hear what your favorite gadgets are in our comment section. And also, we'd really love it if you guys would click that like button and subscribe. Woo!
Oh yeah.